A very good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to meeting number 6 of the Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmasters Club. Welcome to another power packed evening full of learning, speeches, and evaluations. So let's begin the session with a poem based on the theme of today's session, which is Beyond the Title. You may have a title, a crown, a role. Praise you may receive manifold. But beyond the words and the frame are the efforts, sincerity, and the flame. It's not just a rank, a title, or a tag, but the pains taken to soar that flag. The title shines, but deeper still is your purpose, grit, and iron will. Welcome, one and all, to this wonderful session. I'm your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Before we begin the meeting, I would like to highlight some of the guidelines to ensure a smooth and productive meeting today. Our session is for 2 hours, and we encourage all of you to stay till the entire duration of the meeting to get maximum benefit from it. Kindly ensure that your camera is on and your audio is off unless you need to speak or are called upon to speak during the meeting. While Toastmasters International does not have any restrictions on speaking on sensitive topics such as sex, religion, and politics, here at the Gabbys, we request all the participants and members to ensure that they refrain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. At the Gabbys, we stand by our club mission to create a supportive and positive learning environment where members build communication and leadership skills, resulting in increased confidence and personal growth. Now, without further ado, I would like to hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer of today's meeting, who is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Saurabh Datta. Distinguished Toastmaster Saurabh Datta is a two-time distinguished Toastmaster, having completed all 11 pathways and earned numerous awards. With 20 plus years of leadership at companies such as HP, Target, and JC Penney, he is the co-founder of Practive, a social enterprise empowering students, MSMEs, and women entrepreneurs. Saurabh is also a proud father to a 10-year-old daughter, a budding cricketer who fuels his passion for learning, leading, and lifting others. So let's all welcome our presiding officer of today's evening, distinguished Toastmaster Saurabh Datta.
Sergeant at Arms, Priya, we have an issue here. Toastmaster DTM Saurabh has to attend to an emergency. So I'll take over as the presiding officer right now. Yep. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present in the meeting. A very warm welcome to each one of you. So let's begin this meeting. I would like to invite few guests over here to come up on the screen and share a quick 30-second hello with us, a bit about themselves, a good introduction. May I request Lisa Thompson to come up on this screen? And
yeah, good morning. I'm not visible this morning. I'm on a cruise ship in Portland,
okay.
Maine.
Right. So Lisa, which part of?
I'll be home tomorrow.
Okay.
I think. It's been 25 days. I have a club that I started called Cree Art, and you're all invited. It's tonight, New York time is 9 p.m. Eastern time, and New York is my home. So if you'd like to learn more about art and creativity, it's a great club. We just chartered January 14th, and we hit our 6 month mark with presidential status. Hopefully next year we'll get the Smedley Award. I'm also
Right.
the public relations manager of District 57 in California and have just completed my second DTM. So I'm happy to be here.
Very, many congratulations on your second DTM and all the very best to your club and looking forward to your club winning this medley awards.
Thank you
Okay,
so
now I
much.
invite Toastmaster Josh. I could see Toastmaster Josh over here. So Toastmaster Josh, can we have a good
Yeah, good evening, everyone. As per the Indian GMT time, I'm compared
your
to you.
voice? Can we just
Yeah, am I audible now?
a little bit more?
Okay. So again, good evening, everyone. This is Josh as per the Indian GMT time. Compared to you all, I'm a baby Toastmaster. I just became Toastmaster in February, completed my first pathway, and I'm about to finish my second pathway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All the very best for your second pathway, Toastmaster Josh. Okay. Next, I would like Noshad Rajani. Noshad.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. And I look forward to have a great learning experience. My Toastmasters journey has been very fulfilling so far. I've been there with the GSC club in Mumbai for about 1.5 years, and it is such a joyful moments with my fellow Toastmasters, and I look forward to this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you all stay back till the end of the meeting where we would like to take some feedbacks from you, how you liked our meeting. Okay. Okay, next, I would just like to, for the benefit of the guests who are new to Toastmasters. So this is all, Toastmaster is a 100+ year old organization. It's a public speech platform where we all get together to practice our public speaking skills. And that too with very clear objectives, as many of our speakers over here will over the course of the meeting will highlight how they have been practicing their speech and enhancing their learning and leadership abilities within the Toastmaster community. So going forward, next, I would just take you forward with the theme of the day, because I, being the TMOD, and I've just lifted up the PO address, and I don't have the complete script with me, but I still would like to take over as the TMOD now. So going forward, I would just like to tell you something like we often introduce ourselves as with designation, isn't it? Somebody like me myself, I told you that I'm either TMOD. Somebody else, she's a director. Somebody is a coach. Somebody is a manager. Right now, we talked about somebody is a distinguished Toastmaster, the DTM. So even in every meetings, also in every sphere of our life, we find so many titles happening, right? So each one has a title associated to them. So, but let's pause for a moment. Is it all about the titles? What would we be if we don't have that title attached to ourselves? Would we still be able to inspire people? Would we still be able to make that connection? Or we would still be able to make that difference? So influences, as we all understand, they are not printed on any business cards or maybe on any nameplates that we see outside our offices. So it may not be a corner office that would create an influence on others. So influence shows in its own ways, the way we make others feel, how we hold our space, how we lead our team, so how we lead our families, how we lead our lives. It may be with or without authority. So I would just like all the present here to just raise their hands, and if you ever had a boss or a leader who inspired you, in the same sense without beyond the titles? Yes, Puneeth, can you name someone?
Yeah, one of my previous bosses or sponsor really inspired me by the way he was able to balance work, his physical health, fitness, and most of all, giving back to the startup community. He gave
Right.
back with full force.
Yes, yes, that is it. So this is what it is all about. So we learn so much. We get inspired by so much by these people, right? Is there somebody else in the room who would like to share their inputs? They can be anybody. As a matter of fact, can be your parents. They can even be your younger sibling also. Why not? So anybody without a title, they can always inspire you to get better in some sphere of your life. Or
Right. Reno, I had raised my hand. I don't know if you got
yes,
this
yes,
message.
please, Ashwini.
Yes. So Reno, I think all our XCOM team, particularly if I have to name, our Saurav and Nancy has been inspiring me a lot from the day I've joined Gabbys.
Right.
I was a member with different Toastmasters club, other parts, but the kind of leadership they have, the way they drive the clubs, I think that has inspired me a lot. I have really learned a lot in terms of how the leader should be, and also uh, apart from that, also the responsibilities they take up, the project management, the way they run the meeting. So I think when you talk about beyond the titles, that's what reminds me of. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I completely resonate you and then second you with like DTM Nancy and DTM Saurabh. They have been a complete inspiration for our club. So I really appreciate DTM Nancy's quick decision-making abilities. And again, the conflict resolution as for the DTM Saurabh, I have seen him come up with very quick and apt solutions whenever there is a conflict. So yes, I second you on that. They are again one of my inspirations. Yes, Toastmaster Arvind.
Hello, good evening to all. So my inspiration is one of my previous manager. His name is Pradeep Soundararajan. He's the CEO of Mulia Software Testing Company, and he has inspired me as a leader because he does not call himself as CEO. He calls himself as a servant of the company. He's there to provide service, and you can approach him anytime. And he has created a culture of people-oriented culture, which focuses on people development. He does not call resources. He calls he builds a culture of family. The workplace is like a family. So that his style of leadership is it's very spiritual, I would say. That has inspired me.
Thank you for that. We will have that last one from Vinay. Yes, Vinay.
Yeah, thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yeah, clearly.
Yeah, so actually, there are a lot of people have inspired me. Anyone, right? Whenever I observe the people, everyone is inspired, right? From the film actor to celebrity, politicians, and all. Everyone has some role inspiring me. When you deeply observe, right? When you observe, there is something to learn from everyone. Everyone
Really.
has something. Only thing is we need to have the curiosity and learn something. When you observe deeply and try to learn, then you will learn. And the biggest inspiration for me is my family because they give me the purpose, they give me the desire, they give me everything. That's what I am. So in spite of like a lot of other inspiration which I get from other people, but family is the fuel that drives me, that gives me the purpose and all. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I completely resonate with your idea as well. We can learn from anybody and anyone from anywhere, right? Any point of time. Thank you for your. And for the rest of you who are not able to come up on the screen, and you may share your thoughts in the chat, and I'll read it out later ahead in the meeting. So let's kickstart our meeting. So here we don't just speak, we influence, and let's go beyond the title. For the benefit of guests, I would like to explain the structure of our meeting today. So our meeting today has an educational session in the beginning, where we gain insights from our experienced speakers, followed by the prepared speeches. In this section, the members deliver speeches based on their chosen paths and the projects. They will be evaluated. Next, the evaluation section. So evaluation sections, here we receive constructive feedback that help us grow as our communicators. So today's meeting, all in all, is truly special. It is just not because of theme that we are thinking beyond the title, but because we are welcoming back some familiar and popular faces from our previous XCOM. And that too after a break. So I would like to begin by introducing one such dynamic Toastmaster, and that is Toastmasters Smruti Sagarika Mohanty. Zoom moderator, can you please spotlight her? Toastmasters Smruti will be the general evaluator for today's meeting. She is the immediate past president of Gabbys Online Advanced Toastmaster Club. She has held multiple executive roles at the club level and also at the district level. She has worked as club mentor, club coach, and a distinguished area director. And I understand many people over here are familiar with her. And to further about her, she's a two-time Triple Crown awardee. She's currently progressing her fifth pathway. A very proud moment. So outside of Toastmasters Smruti, she's a powerhouse in her own right. She's a certified soft skill trainer, a mentorship specialist, training content creator, and a seasoned B2B enterprise sales professional, and has over a decade of experience. So let's welcome Toastmaster Smruti Sagarika Mohanty, our general evaluator of the day. So Toastmaster Smruti will be observing closely and monitoring the entire meeting, and she has already started doing it right when the meeting began at 7:30. And she'll be supported by a TEL team. Yes, a TEL team, the timer, the evaluator, the listener, and the language evaluator. They all will be supporting her in the evaluation of the meeting. So before we proceed to the most awaited segment of today's meeting, the educational session, we need to know another person over here, the timer. So today's timer is Toastmaster Sreehari Acharya. Zoom moderator, please spotlight him. So fellow Toastmaster, our timer today is an engineer by profession and learner at heart. He enjoys reading, he loves working out, and is steadily climbing the ladder in his public speaking journey. So today he will be timing the entire meeting, and we will raise the red card if any segment goes beyond the time limit specified in the agenda. Thank you, Toastmaster Sreehari, for helping us stay on track and on time. We'll get back to you later in the meeting. Thank you. And now the moment is, we have been waiting for, the education session. So our guest speaker today is someone who wears many hats with grace and grit. She brings over 15 years of experience in public relations and marketing communications, and she's currently working as public relations manager at Babu, where she helps cutting-edge blockchain businesses tell the stories, build their brands. She has worked with companies like Civica and spent a decade in real estate marketing. She's making big moves, helping them make big moves in brand strategy and communication. And as for Toastmasters, she's taken up several leadership roles, be it Program Quality Director or District Public Relations Manager. She's now leading from the front as the District Director of District 98. She is Distinguished Toastmaster Neha Bhatt. So, moderator, please spotlight her. So, Distinguished Toastmaster Neha Bhatt is. Do we have her in the room? Yeah. Thank you, Neha, for coming back. So, Distinguished Neha Bhatt is not just passionate about leadership and communication, but also about sharing what she learns. She is fluent in English, Hindi, as well as Gujarati. Came through Neha, which only which only adds to her ability to connect and inspire across diverse audiences. Gabbys and all esteemed guests present, with great excitement and anticipation, I invite distinguished Toastmaster Neha Bhatt to enlighten us with her wisdom through the powerful and thought-provoking topic, Can You Lead with Authority? Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Neha Bhatt.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Renu. And can I have more people on the camera? There are some members that I didn't expect to join, have joined from my beloved district. That's District 98 that I lead this year. Thank you so much, members, for joining in. I was not prepared for they joining me in. And hence, I'll have to tweak my conversations here because this is the influence, I think, that works right. How many of you have been leaders before? With a raise of virtual hands. Okay. And what are your expectations from this session? Like, what do you want to, after this session gets over, I don't want Saurav coming to me saying, what did you do, Neha? So if we can unmute, yes, Arvind, if you can we unmute members? Zoom master?
Yes, you may. Yes.
Yes, Arvind.
Yeah. So I'm just starting my leadership journey. I've been past with the education of Kodamli Toastmasters Club. And I'm very interested in leadership aspect of Toastmasters and as well as professional roles also. So I want to learn about the leadership aspect and how I can build that influence, create that positive environment without using authority. Because I have seen leaders who use authority and force to get things done. I don't want to be that kind of a leader. So I want to learn the influential leadership aspect. That is my explanation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Arvind. Let's hear it for Arvind. You very well said, Arvind, and it takes a lot to be an influential leader or a person than just being a leader. There have been many definitions on what is leadership. So give me a moment and I prepared something for you all. Yes. Can you all see the link that's posted on the chat? If you can quickly respond. Great, I've started getting responses. Okay. A few more. There are 44 people in the room. 42 now. So can I see more responses coming in? What is leadership according to you? This can be anything. And let's treat leadership not just in Toastmasters, but outside as well. Is everyone able to check on the link and fill in the responses? Thanks, Akshay, for confirming. I want more people to fill in the responses. It's not going to be a one-way monologue. All right, so the responses that I received, few of them, and I'm not sharing my screen because I don't want to reinforce those visuals to you. Few of the responses that I've received is focus, creative, fast, bold, inspiration, and I'm guessing it's transformation. All right, let me just share one more link with you. And I'd request most of you now to fill this up, please. Wow, so many answers I got.
It's the same, right?
Is that the same?
Yeah, we're getting the same one.
The same one, actually.
Okay, so let me just read out, or let me just share my screen on how it looks. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
All right. So here's the word cloud that you all created for what is influence to you. I like my name sitting at the center there, not intended, but it's all about being impactful, being inspiring, helping others, creating impact, motivating people, introspection. What a wonderful thought. I loved it. Understanding, convincing power. Whoever has wrote this, I would like to know more about this. Positive impact. Okay. Okay, it's coming. Excellence. Okay. Okay, few members have just written it for fun. Stepping into another's shoes, I'm guessing. Okay, great. So thank you for that engagement. Now I'd like to understand few of you who have responded, few answers. Anyone who can raise your hands and speak as to what it means to you.
Can I?
Yes,
Shalini.
Sriram has raised his hand. So maybe that, and after, I couldn't figure out who spoke. So maybe after that.
Shalini, that's okay.
Okay, yes, Shalini. After that, after Sriram, it's you. Yes, Sriram.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good
Am I
evening.
audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Fantastic. So, influence, according to me, is creating an impact. When you speak, when you utter, when a person enters a room, sometimes we feel a vibe or energy. And it's just a person, how they resonate, and automatically it's like a Pied Piper who's playing his flute. And of course, we are not the rats, but we are the people who follow them. So creating an impact for me is more like how you can put across your thought process, which everyone can resonate and they can agree to it. So that's what creating an influence, according to me, is.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Yes,
Thank you.
Shalini.
For me, influence will be someone a candle in the dark. So when I am stuck somewhere, and if that one person who has inspired me, and I can remember any of his or her advice, which I implement, and I am just wow, is what I would feel an influencer to be. Even if I don't remember the name, but that influence is so powerful that I remember the words. I feel that is something, yeah, for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Shalini. Anybody else who would like to speak up? Ritu, you raised your hand.
Yes. So influence, according to me, is when someone affects you to maybe elevate your whole being, or it could be negative too. So it's both ways. It's not just a positive effect on someone's lifestyle, behavior, thought process. It could also have a negative impact. So it's a double-edged sword as per me. Those are my 2 cents. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think most of you have just hit the right chord. It's about making an impact, helping somebody when they're in most dire need of that help, and going out of your way. So it's very unusual from what is leadership. Leadership might make you learn on 1, 2, 3 technical aspects of doing things in a way. But while influencing, while making an impact, you need to be really unconventional on your own thoughts, on your own creativity, sometimes getting out of your own comfort zones. And that at times can be also effort taking, painstaking. It takes a lot. For an example, let's understand if this is the room and we have to create an influence in front of people who we don't know. How will we start a conversation? We'll all think as to how I know this person and how I want to connect or how I want to make my impact. For an example, a beautiful story to share with is how I and Saurav connected was just over a phone call. I have never met Saurav, but just on a single phone call, we got connected. So much so that we have our Toastmasters conversations on and on after that phone call. And somewhere, he or I have created an impact in each other's lives in some or the other way. And I'm sure, like that, a lot of people in this room might have created some or the other impact in your lives. Anybody who remembers influencers, this is a trending word these days. Anybody who remembers the famous influencers of today, or even not of today, any famous influencers, and why they are called influencers?
Yeah, Nas Daily.
Sorry?
Nas Daily.
Okay.
No.
Saurav, your name is there on the chat. Saurav is an influencer, I agree. So when I go to back to the old days, when influencer was not even a word, I remember few leaders who may have made an impact in people's life. Let's say Abdul Kalam. Let's say Mother Teresa. Let's say Steve Jobs, if the business is concerned. these people first were having no titles with them. And it was there goes a specific plan while you are being an influencer. It's not just coming, making a conversation and going away from that room. You have to create an impact, as somebody said. You have to understand the other person as to what he or she might be going through, or is it the right time to have that conversation with that person or not. Fitting into that shoes and helping them takes a lot of efforts. So there is a standardized way that I'm going to just show you quickly. And I know the card is on. I'll just take a little while to share my screen. So I'm happy that few of you already talked about it's creating an impact. So thank you for answering that. Also, somebody of you already mentioned about it is not about authority. So because authority, when you lead with authority, it puts you in a position of control, puts you in a position of being enforced leader, or temporary can help you influence people. But when you lead with an impact, influencing people, you tend to guide them in a proper direction, the way they can grow. The trust and the respect that you earn mutually builds a relationship longer and fosters commitment that makes a lasting impact. Here's something that I wanted you all to focus on, that if we all work towards the direction of having a vision on how do we want to create an impact in somebody's life, our vision should be laid down with the action plan. There's somebody in this room who was leading an area last year with a clear action plan of where he wanted to lead that area towards the end of this year. But not just with that focused statistics, but with a clear map and action plan, knowing his members of his clubs, of how do we make an impact from delivering results to improving members, as well as continuing that membership to a larger growth. That's something, creating vision with action. There were times that leading by example makes a lot of painstaking efforts. There can be times where you are not able to devote the time that you already committed for. But when you are creating an influence, there has to be no looking back. You have to create an impact, not just by saying, but by coming to such meetings, delivering your speeches, leading by example. The most important element is to have emotional quotient very, very high while you lead. There can be situations where you are in a situation bottleneck where you don't want to do a conversation which is conflicting. As a leader, yes, you will have to. But while you understand somebody else, you create that impact and influence. And that's where you understand the emotional quotient of the other person very high. And then you make those conversations subtly to not just make your vision work, but also to understand how the other person feels in that situation, whether he can deliver the results or not. And being persistent. That's the key for either you are a leader or you are an influential leader. Persistence is the key for anything that requires action-oriented approach. I have always said, so when Saurav was discussing this plan with me, I said, whether you want it to be termed as making positive influence, because influence can also be termed as creating a negative influence. Make sure we create an environment that has a positive influence over people, where we elevate people to come forward to deliver results, not just for a club or a district goal or a division goal, but to grow as a member, as a human as well. So creating your positive impact and influence over others matters the most. And through that, your choice of words, the language that you speak, even if you don't speak how your body language speaks, is a lot that matters in that environment. Whether you are a leader or you are an influencer, you are at a constant eyes of people. Like today, I never knew that these 15, 20 people from the district will come and just watch me, whether do I speak better or not. And I'm sure I'm going to get the feedbacks after this session. So whether you are a leader or an influencer, you will be noticed. So you'll be very, I won't say you have to be cautious, but be yourself. Try to improve every single time. Take feedbacks effectively, because that helps you to be better, not just as a Toastmaster, but also as an individual. So that's all from my side. I am sure I was not able to see the screens. I'm sure the red card is on. Thank you so much, Sreehari, if that's the right way to pronounce. I'm up for questions if anybody has anything to ask. No questions?
Renu,
Yeah. Yes, I'll be taking up the Q&A. Well, people seem to be under your influence, DTM Neha.
I'm not sure.
We are yet to think of the question. We have one question. Yes. Yeah, Uma.
Yes, Uma.
Yeah, hi ma'am. Like as a leader, suppose you're the president of a club, how can you inspire the members to be as productive as the president? Because the whole responsibility lies on the president, and she feels or she or he feels that yes, I have to lead the team. But then if other members are silent, you can't keep quiet also. You take the lead and you go and do everything. So how can the president be quiet and make other members do the work? Is it only by delegating or by inspiring them as a role model? How can that be done?
Okay, thanks for asking me that question. And your question had a subtle sub-question, which I would also like to answer. First, one, president alone is not responsible for anything. It's the group of all the ExCom officers together, along with your members. So if you think that as a president, I am responsible to make this club this, you would not be able to. How you can communicate with your members, sit with them, have in your meetings, talk to them that these are your achievables. This is why you're here in Toastmasters. As Toastmasters, we all have our reasons for joining Toastmasters, right? We just have to ask members as what's their why of joining. And if those whys can be combined with club goals, I think magic can happen. So it's not alone your responsibility, Uma. Don't take it that way. And take your team along with you in your vision. Sit with your members, understand their whys of joining Toastmasters, align your club meetings according to those whys, make it more interesting, fun, and engaging. And that's where you can achieve your goal. You don't have to, I always say this to my leaders, that don't drain yourself in leadership. If you keep on doing a lot of things, if you enjoy doing a lot of things and you keep on doing, good. But if you keep on doing a lot of things and end of the day, you get drained out, you feel why did I do it? It's not worth it. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We have another question, hand raised by DTM Lisa Thompson. DTM.
Yes,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy I was able to come on camera finally. So I think that we're touching on the most important thing of being a leader. When we're a leader, for me, it's really not about an individual, It's really about what are we trying to focus on? What are we trying to accomplish? And delegating the parts of that to the people that are in our immediate team. So I was just given a team award, a special team award for being able to create the PR team for District 57 last year. And I think that it's really important that we stay out of each other's lanes. We each have a role. When we find a need, such as a newsletter, you find the best editor that you can find and you guide them. You help them to set up whatever they need to do in order to do their job to their best ability. You don't do their job for them. You don't tell them how to do their job. You work with them to help them to be a leader in that area. So as the head of the PR team, I'm able to look at how those pieces all fit together. And I think it's really important when we're talking about leadership or about influencing that we not just look at the concept, that we look at examples that help to illustrate how other people can do that to their best ability. So my question for you, Naha, is how have you helped to build teams and manage teams so that you can shine as the leader that you are?
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Round of applause for Lisa. PRM is not an easy job. I've been there, done that. And I know you have to be on the go every time. You said it very right. While leading teams, what I used to do is acting as a facilitator, as you said, delegating who is to do what, but also to check on them, because PRM, if I have to only and only talk about PRMs, PRM is the most up and running thing. Every day there's some or the other things that's going to happen. And you, as you're the leading member of your team, you have to check on your team whether they are doing okay, whether they need any help after being just a facilitator. So there had been scenarios where my team, when I was PRM, my teams were having low moments. They were having professional commitments. You have to pitch in on their behalf and help them. There were times that something was not clicking right in creativity, because creativity is a whole lot of new perspective, right? Something that I like would not be liked by Saurav or Renu. So it was happening that time with my trio at that point of time. We have to speak for our team as well. We'll have to understand what efforts does the extended team leaves to create maybe a flyer, a website design, a newsletter edit, whatever it is. So if one, you have to facilitate. Second, be in their shoes, understand how they are doing, check on them. Third, pitch in for them, and always, always stand for your team. I hope I answered your question.
You did, Naha. Thank you. I think we could continue this conversation. I'll put my link into the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one question from Ankit Shah. How to replace negative influence? Is there a way?
By positivity, as simple as that. So I can understand how conflicting scenarios it can go while you might be around negative situations. All you can do is keep on asking whether you want to be there, one, and if you are there, what difference could you make as a leader or as an influencer? Can it be something that's in your hand and you can change a little bit, not more? And a little difference can make, smaller impacts can make huge changes in future. So create that impact by yourself.
Okay, the next question is the hand is raised by Dawn Mutical, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yes, this is Don. I am from Kerala and I'm the president of my club. The thing I am facing is that it's a 35 member club. So I'm being a little bit authoritative. I just want to I want to make my members comfortable to do certain roles. But every meetings is happening every Friday. Everything is going well. But nowadays I get a little bit feedback from my ex-com members, one or two people, that I'm being a bit authoritative. So how can I influence my members in the club to take up roles without being authoritative and make them more comfortable?
Thank you for asking that question, Don. Seldom when we are at the highest leadership levels, may that be president of a club or a district director of a district, we might come across people where they feel we are being authoritative. And it's good to take those feedbacks. Don't be reactive, number one. Don't say, no, I'm not being authoritative. This is needed. This is the need of the hour. It needs to be done. Understand why they're saying what they're saying. Equally important for you to get the work done also, right? So you also need to sit with them, have conversations saying, is everything okay? Can I help you? And pitch in, as I said, for them if they are not able to cope up with the work. And take feedbacks, work on it. If we come across as leaders, authoritatives, as it's our learning as well, we also have to learn to have our EQs high to lead in any situations, easy or difficult. I hope that helps. Saurav?
Yes, I think we lost Renu. I don't think she's in the meeting. So I'll just give myself the chance to ask this question because Renu is not here to moderate. Okay, so I'll just, before I ask the question, just set the context. See, we have got close to around more than 50 people today on the call. And to be very honest, we have not done any special promotions for this particular event.
My district did just in 15 minutes. You have no idea what they did. And
Yeah,
like,
so the point, see, the thing is that, it's a regular promotion and people, like close to 50 people have come. A bunch of them have come from your district, but a lot of them have come from other places as well, right? And a lot of the people who have joined, even in Toastmasters leadership, Neha, a lot of the people in your district are much elder than you, right? In terms of age, in terms of experience.
yes.
They're very veterans, people who actually come with a lot of corporate leadership experience. And here you don't have a chain of command, unlike in the corporate where you have to listen to your manager. Otherwise, you'll have to work for a different company in the next appraisal cycle. That problem is not here. On the other hand, actually, people threaten the leaders here saying that, okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to go to another club or I'm going to leave Toastmasters. So, the power actually is on the other side. So in such a situation, Neha, how do you exactly do that? I think that is something that is very important for those of us to, particularly those who have never been a district officer, because I think that is one of the most challenging things I have seen as a district officer, apart from obviously, navigating through the district politics, which you eventually get to learn the hard way. But I think it is even harder to kind of do justice to the role once you are there, right? So, and that, I mean, 98 has a great story, right? So it's a pretty well-known story. So tell us a little bit about, how do you do that, the natural style?
So if I get your question right, it's about addressing.
No chain of command, age not being on your side. So
Agreed. I remember one such scenario while I was serving last year as program quality director, and no context to, as you said, district officers, but just let's say I was heading a contest and you were my contest chair, and you didn't do your responsibilities quite well, and I had to break that ice telling you, Saurav, you couldn't do this well. It was a difficult conversation for me to make. I gathered, first of all the courage as to, and I had never spoken to this individual in my life before. I gathered a lot of courage, first of all. One, I made notes actually as to what not to say. Because when you have to say certain things in a righteous way, that in a Toastmasters righteous ways, that listen, this is what was not done right. We can speak like this, that, you know, this was not done right. It was not as per speech contest rule book, stuff like that. So I made notes as to what I don't have to say. Secondly, I made pointers as to what I want to focus on, making it more understandable rather than authoritative. And then I picked up a call. I had a subtle start of the conversation saying, how are you doing? We have not catched up for a long time. And then I went again saying, okay, so you've done this role. How did you do it? According to you, were you okay? And then the conversation opened up, and the other person said, okay, this is what I think could have been done better. And that's where I broke the ice saying, right, that's how it should be. So next time when you go, just make sure that 1, 2, and 3 are done right. And that just opened up my doors to friendship with that person. And we are friends from that time till today. And I can now have the courage of telling him anything and everything, rather telling him this is not done right way. That is what I've gathered.
Okay, I must say one thing, almost 20, 25, 30 years in leadership roles, and I rarely get an epiphany moment. So I'm just telling this to you. It's a moment of epiphany for me. It never struck me what not to say. I think this is beautiful, what you just said, what not to say as a leader. Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure being here.
Thank you, DTM Neha. We have some really breakthrough moments happening here. Thank you for your wonderful session. And now we will have a quick 2 minutes break. And in case somebody has any question, we have the speaker right here in the room. So we can continue with the question. You can please share your questions in the chat or with the speaker. We're getting so many compliments for you, right, DTM?
I'm going
Neha?
to read all the comments after.
You must.
Yes, and I'll read them. Thank you so much, everyone, for commenting.
Thank you. Timer, can you please time the 2 minute break?
Sure.
Right. Thank you. Welcome back, Toastmasters. I hope you all had a refreshing break and enjoyed the conversation during the break. So just let's get back into the spirit of today's meeting once again. And though we haven't disconnected from our theme, if the theme is almost same like what DTM Neha talked about, that shedding off titles, because titles, they don't open doors. It is the influence that helps us walk through and transform lives. So I'll just we'll have a quick activity over here. So I'm going to talk about a leadership trait that DTM Neha talked about, and I'll just rephrase it. What you have to do is you have to use a emoji, right? Maybe an emoji of a microphone for a title on your screen, and the emoji of a dartboard for an influence. Something like, if I'm saying delegating tasks, so is that a title-based leadership trait or a influence-based leadership trait? Right? Are we ready for this? Yes, I can see Akshay is already ready. Thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. So, delegating task. That's an easy one. Is that leadership-based? Sorry, the task-based? Oh, yes. Some more, please. That's an easy thing to do, right? You just, those people who are not on cameras, they can also use these emojis. You can see them on the React menu or the reactions if you're using a mobile. Are we able to find the emojis, please? We are using, I'll just share that on the screen itself. Later, please spotlight me. Title, we are using the mic, and for the influence, we are using the network. So, please spotlight me. Okay, the next thing is asking the right questions. Okay. And I don't see an encouraging response here. Are we like not able to find the emojis?
The influence emoji is DART, D-A-R-T.
Yeah, for emoji, for influence, it's start, the dartboard. So it's an easy one, having a shared vision. Will that create, oh, okay, that is title based? Isn't that an influence, creating an influence? How about maintaining a hierarchy? This is going to be great. Okay, for Smruti. Akshay says it's title. Yes, I think it's title. Building trust across all levels. Right, it's an influence. Akshay, thank you for playing along. Akshay, thank you, Puneeth, and thank you, Smruti. Okay, now we'll come back to the. We'll proceed to the next section of our meeting. After that brief interaction. So the irony of life is we don't get to choose between the title and the influence as such. So most of the time we are called to use both. So it is not having a title or not having a title. It is about how we use it, right? So let's move to the prepared speeches. So today we have 2 dynamic speeches coming up, and each speaker has crafted their speech with lots of passion. They have a purpose which they have aligned with their pathway journey. So I would like you to listen closely and get ready to be inspired. The first speaker for today's meeting is Toastmaster Gaurav. And I personally know him as a polite and dependable team player. He has served as a diligent secretary in the last term and has quietly ensured that things ran smoothly behind the scenes, of course. And professionally, Toastmaster Gaurav is a design engineer based in Bangalore. He holds an undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering and a postgraduate degree in tool engineering. Besides work, he enjoys gaming, going on bike rides, and bringing ideas to life through sketching. Yes, that's it. Amazing. So let's give a very warm welcome to our first speaker, Toastmaster Gaurav. Zoom moderator, please spotlight Gaurav. Toastmaster Gaurav is attempting his project 1 of level 3 of presentation mastery pathway, which is titled Persuasive Speaking. The purpose of his speech is to understand the type of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech alongside. Today, his evaluators are Toastmaster Priya Singh and Toastmaster Ashwini. Toastmaster Priya, are you available in the room? Please confirm your presence.
Yes.
Toastmaster Ashwini, please confirm your presence.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. General evaluator, please note that today Toastmaster Priya will be delivering her evaluation for Toastmaster Gaurav, which will be part of her pathway journey. And she'll be attempting her project 4 of level 1 in the presentation mastery, which is titled Evaluation and Feedback. The purpose of Toastmaster Priya's speech is to serve as a speech evaluator during a club level meeting. Please note that Toastmaster Priya's evaluation will be evaluated further by Toastmaster Rahul V. Toastmasters Priya's, in your introduction, we will defer it for the general evaluation section. So timer, please note that the speech of Toastmaster Gaurav, the first speaker, is 5 to 7 minutes duration. Please spotlight the timer as well. And let's now get on with the speech. Toastmaster Gaurav, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, Toastmaster Gaurav.
When we buy a new gadget, what is the first thing we notice in the box? It is the manual, right? Now, us humans are one of the most complicated and precise machines in the world, or should I say the universe. And do we have a manual? There are lots of manuals, but the manual which is really close to me is called Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it's called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is nothing but the sacred conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Keeping the spiritual side apart, this teaches us how to lead your life in balance, clarity, and purpose. Now, what is more important? Is it your mind or your body? I believe it is your mind, because once you have a good mind, once you have a purposeful mind, you can push your body towards moving in the right direction. So from the principles of Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 principles which is really close to me, and I call them the 3, 2, 1 principle. Meaning 3 principles which talk about 2 emotions and is the only truth. Starting off, principle 3. Do your duty without getting attached to the result. There I was at the gym, working out. I miss gym a couple of times in a month, but there is this elderly woman. She goes to the gym every single day. She works out intensely. She runs on the treadmill so much. She lifts really heavy weights. And every 30 to 45 minutes, she goes onto the weighing machine. She looks down, checks her weight, and clearly she is disappointed. Yes, her doctor would have advised her to lose weight to get in better shape and better health. But can't she do the same thing in a better manner, in the sense every step she takes on the treadmill, can't she do it with a smile on her face? Every time she lifts her weights, can't she do it with a smile again? Keeping this aside, we do a lot for our family, right? Family and the loved ones. It can be your parents, your siblings, your partners. Let's say we expect back something from them and they don't give it back in return. Won't we get disappointed? We would, right? We would get a lot disappointed. So, Bhagavad Gita says, do your duty without expecting any results. In the sense, do your duty with happiness and don't depend on the results, because journey is the only thing that is very important and which would make you happy all the time. Principle 2, stay grounded in success and graceful in failure. Couple of months back, I came across this news. The news was that a class 10 student failed his board exams. Weird, right? Why is that a news? His parents, instead of lashing at him, saying that, what is this? Is this how you deal with your 10th boards? We have done so much for you, and what have you done? Guess what they did? They bought him a cake and encouraged him to do better the next time. He was in tears and he said, I will do better. I will pass all my exams the next attempt. The way the parents dealt with him, with his failure through calmness and encouragement, pushed him and motivated him to do a lot better. So our emotions are like the mountains. When we succeed, we are at the peak. And when we fail, we drop to the bottom. So staying calm in all the instances of life, irrespective of good or bad, staying calm is the wisdom, is a beautiful wisdom. And this is what Bhagavad Gita says. And principle 1, your mind can be your greatest strength. It can be your best friend or your worst enemy. You guess who this is. When he was a kid, he was helping his dad with selling chai or tea on railway stations. Along with his education, he went and joined various organizations to build his leadership skills and his communication skills. And today, he is one of the most powerful person in the world. I'm pretty sure you have guessed who it is. It is none other than our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Yes, he did not let his circumstances or the world around him define him what he is today. Bhagavad Gita again says, your mind can be your greatest friend or your worst enemy, right? So the world around you can be the greatest barrier, or it can be the best friend or the best situation for you based on your mindset. So the next time you open the box of your new gadget, take a step back and think, are you following your manual? And remember, you are the greatest or the best machine available on the planet or the universe. Make sure every step you take in your life, you deal with things happily. Because as our principle 3-2-1 says, journey is the greatest gift and not the result. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gaurav, for that lovely speech. I completely resonate with the year 3-2-1 principle and also an added follower of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you for sharing that insight. Let's hear a big round of applause for our first speaker, Toastmaster Gaurav. Now it is time for our second speaker. And the second speaker for today is Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Can Zoom moderator please spotlight him? Yes. A very warm welcome to you, Toastmaster Sunil, after your brief break. We all remember you fondly as a dedicated Sergeant at Arms during your last term in XCOM. So Toastmaster Sunil is someone with a deep enthusiasm for learning and personal growth. He has an ardent passion for both playing cricket as well as speaking in English. A strong believer in simplicity, integrity, and hard work. Today, Toastmaster Sunil is attempting his Pathbreaker speech. And after successfully completing his 5 levels of presentation mastery path. Many congratulations, Sunil. And the purpose of his speech today is to share some aspect of their growth during the completion of a path. The purpose, once again, I'll reiterate, it is to share some aspect of their growth which they undertook during the completion of their path. So his speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Puneeth. Toastmaster Puneeth, please confirm your presence.
I'm here, presiding officer. I'm here.
Thank you. Toastmaster, the second evaluator will be Toastmaster Bindhu. Toastmaster Bindhu, please confirm your presence.
Yes, I'm also here.
Thank you. So timer, please note the speech duration will be 10 to 12 minutes. And Toastmaster Sunil, are you ready? Great. So Toastmaster Sunil, a right to rise. A right to rise, Toastmaster Sunil.
Would I ever be able to speak in English? No, it's not possible. Oh shit, I'm from Hindi background. Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. It all started in the beginning of the year 2024. I was frustrated. I'd been speaking to the mirror for months to improve my English, giving speeches to toothpaste tubes, hand gestures to hairbrushes, and eye contact to shampoo bottles. One day, I felt them whispering, "Hey, loose screw." That day, आता माझी सटकली. I lost patience. I asked a friend, "Hey Jess, isn't there a platform where I can practice English seriously with accountability and without breaking the bank?" Where there is a will, there is a way. Haven't you heard of Toastmasters? Toastmasters? That was my moment of ignition. On 1st of March 2024, I joined the club, Toastmaster Club of Lucknow, and stepped into the world of Toastmasters. A world that would soon change the way I looked at communication, confidence, and most importantly, myself. Not knowing where to begin, I followed the pathway survey. Like destiny at work, it awarded me the pathway presentation mastery. A perfect match for someone who loved to speak but had no stage to do so. Despite being doubtful, now I was ready to ride my Toastmasters bike on the pathway presentation mastery. I shifted into first gear, level 1, mastering fundamentals. My first speech, a disaster before it even delivered. Actually, I picked a funny story from YouTube for my icebreaker and shared with my mentor. She smiled and said, "Interesting, Sunil, but let's speak out about you, and you can do it." CRC, comment, recommend, again comment. It works like magic. I discovered that I had only 2 passions: playing cricket and speaking English. I turned that simplicity into my first real speech. Straight from the heart. Guess what? I was the first runner-up in a joint club icebreaker contest. acquiring some confidence. I was full of enthusiasm, but something felt incomplete. I was not fully satisfied, particularly with the club. And that's when I found the Gabbys and became a member. First impression is the last impression. In this new club, to make my first impression unforgettable, I put my heart and soul into level 1 P3 speech. Coach soda. About a walk-in interview that landed me the first job offer. Then it became a hit humorous speech. And I felt that the joy of making people laugh with me, not at me. Now I was on cloud 9. Life has its own way of balancing highs and lows. My next speech received a harsh feedback and brought me down to earth. Then I realized content is king and I have to go beyond humor. With some confidence, now I put the bike into second gear, level 2, understanding your style. Here I played with all 4 styles and hilariously applied them to booking a taxi and getting a great deal. I emphasized that communication is not a one-size-fits-all approach, but it changes according to the person and the situation. The project Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring truly meant something for me. A tribute to my mentor, Smruti Sagarika Mohanty. I compared her with Lord Krishna in Mahabharata, guiding the Pandavas. Always present and patient to support and motivate me to go ahead erasing the doubts. Now, following the mentor, I engaged third gear, level 3, increasing knowledge. To give a persuasive speech, I took a risk on a delicate topic, constipation, and shared how Vajrasana could help you get rid of it. It was awkward. I could literally feel the discomfort in the room. That day I derived, you cannot persuade people if they are too shocked to listen. So the next time I changed myself and came up with the project Connect with Storytelling. I narrated a personal heartbreak, my marriage proposal rejection over a small lie. You won't believe, I wore even a sari on the stage to make the speech more impactful. The audience enthralled. The result, podium finish at the club level ISC 2024. Now, I was enjoying the ride. So I selected fourth gear, level 4, building skills. As soon as I selected the fourth gear, a huge mountain appeared in front of me. Managing a difficult audience, that made me sweat more than summers in India. But somehow I managed. Then came My favorite project, manage online meetings. That gave me a chance to be a little theatrical, literally. As the TMOD, I made train travel the theme and became a TT, a tea vendor, chai, 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 and an annoying co-passenger all in one meeting. When I saw the audience smiling, I felt that's why I joined Toastmasters. Now it was the time for me to move the gear stick to the final fifth gear, level 5, demonstrating expertise. At this level, you are challenged to ride the Toastmasters bike like a pro and give a 20 minutes long professional speech. I accepted the challenge and titled the speech Green with Envy and practiced until I could deliver it with my eyes closed, almost. Finally came the grand finale, moderating a panel discussion. It was not about me, but it was all about collaboration and teamwork. I needed 3 panelists for my very emotional topic, my mother, my new baby. Once again, my mentor, Smruti, not only helped me find very suitable and supportive panelists, but also stood by me until the project was over. I can't forget the then club president, Jasprit Kaur, and vice president of education, Yogita Upadhyay, who invariably kept checking in. How is the project going? Need help? After the project, I drew a conclusion. You can never accomplish a task alone. Ladies and gentlemen, my Toastmasters ride didn't just take me from level 1 to level 5 on the pathway presentation mastery, but it took me on a journey of profound change. From mirror talker to storyteller, from speech giver to speech crafter, and most importantly, from self-doubt to self-discovery. Every stumble was a gear shift pushing me to rise. Today, I stand here speaking better English and cracking better jokes despite being from Hindi background just because of the speeches, the people, the feedbacks, and the discoveries this incredible journey provided. This pathway built me to conquer doubts and failures through continuous discoveries and teamwork. Believe me, it can build you too. Just shift the first gear and start your ride to rise. Thank you. What do you do?
Let's give a standing ovation to the pathbreaker speech of our Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Thank you, Sunil and Gaurav for that impactful speeches. Now we move directly to the evaluation section, a segment that reflects the true spirit of Toastmasters, that is growing through the feedbacks. Now I will invite the general evaluator, Journal Evaluator Smruti. Yeah, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Renu. Here I am with my team, doing utmost justice. Well, we're trying to do utmost justice to the title given today, where we will try to stretch beyond the titles. Well, just like in life, where titles may define roles, but G role, the general evaluator role, is about the collaborative effort of the team. On that note, I would like to invite the first role taker of my team, which is the timer, to help us understand how did our speakers do with respect to the time. Toastmaster Sreehari, would you like to please share the timing report?
Sure. Both of our speakers are qualified. Gaurav has taken 5 minutes 56 seconds and Sunil Gupta right on time 12 minutes and 25 seconds.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sreehari. Now let's proceed further because this role is not only about the evaluation, it's about the elevations. We are here to elevate each and every speaker, each and every role taker by highlighting what we did best and also by specifically pointing out things where we can work together and enhance. On that note, let's start with the prepared speech evaluation. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Gaurav Babu, will be evaluated by our first evaluator, Toastmaster Priya Singh. She's also attempting a project rightly highlighted by our TMOD. Toastmaster Priya is a marketing professional and academician in business management. She's passionate about creative writing and poetry. Her podcast, Soulful Scroll, is her dedicated effort to the craft of poetic expression. I indeed second that. She joined Toastmaster to enhance the public speaking skills and become an influential voice to inspire others. Before Priya begin the evaluation, may I request Toastmaster Rahul to confirm your presence?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Priya, over to you.
Toastmaster Gaurav Babu, what a speech. It was indeed a very beautiful and inspiring speech based on the principles of Bhagavad Gita. I personally resonated a lot with it because Bhagavad Gita is very close to my heart. And the first principle that you spoke about really resonates very well with me. Your speech, the content was very inspiring. It was very well structured. And I really enjoyed the speech thoroughly. What really came out as outstanding, according to me, in your speech was the analogy you took of the three principles of the Bhagavad Gita and added a small story to explain how that story could relate to that principle and how it can impact our lives with those inspiring stories. So that was a beautiful aspect which I really loved. Another commendable aspect was your usage of phrases. Emotions are like mountains and humans are complicated machines. They were very good phrases. The stories you chose were definitely very inspiring and they were bang on. They really elevated the speech and enabled us to understand the principles much better. And if I could go a step further, you definitely did justice to the persuasive speech objective by persuading us, or I would say at least I was persuaded and resonated with these three principles and how it can help us to succeed and become better human beings and elevate ourselves. Now, I would like to just suggest two areas which I feel would elevate your speech to the next level. The first one was that you really chose stories for each principle, but in principle 2 and 3, your personal story was missing. And when we have stories in our life, the personal story definitely helps us to create a better impact, and it shows how you were influenced by those principles in your personal life. And number two, I feel that since you had more than a minute available, you could have made your conclusion even more impactful and taken your speech to the next level. So thank you very much. It was a wonderful speech, beautiful structure, beautiful content, and beautiful analogy of the Bhagavad Gita with our daily lives, how we can become better human beings. But just these 2 points where you could use your own stories to influence us, and secondly, use your time to the optimum level would create a wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Great. Kudos to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priya. Can you please hear it for Toastmaster Priya for her first prepared speech evaluation? Well, Gabbys is all about dual evaluation, where you saw one dedicated evaluator evaluating on the content part. You are now going to witness another evaluator who will evaluate on the delivery part of our speaker one, Toastmaster Gaurav. To do the honors, may I request Toastmaster Ashwini to get spotlighted. For you, a little bit introduction. Toastmaster Ashwini is working as a manager for corporate partnership at Impact Guru. I know this individual, someone who decided to challenge the odds, decided not to take the normal route after completing the engineering for that 9 to 5 job, someone who decided to go beyond and make some impact in the society, which defines Toastmaster Ashwini here. A very passionate member of the Gabbys. Toastmaster Ashwini, I request you to please proceed with your evaluation for Toastmaster Gaurav. Over to you.
Toastmaster Smruti, is my voice audible?
You are audible now. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Gaurav. Toastmaster Gaurav, what a great speech it was. You had a great start. You built that curiosity in all of us, talking about how motorcycles have manuals and somehow we human beings don't have. That was a great way of starting a speech, and you had all of us there hooked to know what is coming next. And the second part is the choice of content. I know our first evaluator has already spoken about it, but since it's a persuasive speech, I wanted to again highlight you have a great, you have chosen a great content to deliver a persuasive speech, because we all could resonate with what was coming forward. And Bhagavad Gita is something that we all pray as a holy book, and you talking about that as part of your persuasive speech, you had it there. And you have met the purpose of your speech by delivering informational speech, by talking about the three very important principles of Bhagavad Gita. That's amazing. So now let's move on to what you could have done better. I want to highlight this one thing, Toastmaster Gaurav. You had multiple stories to share, under each principle, which is amazing, because as a Toastmasters, when we are, writing our speeches, we run out of stories. We try to put a lot of content, but you having multiple stories, which is amazing. From there, I could see that you have put a lot of hard work. But the thing here is, if you have multiple things in the same under one speech, what happens is audience gets confused, like what are you trying to say, right? So under one principle, if you could have spoken about one particular story, which has to be very strong, and these are the principles like that is been spoken worldwide, right? And these are principles that we already are aware of. So if you can speak about one strong story under one principle, that will keep that will be something that will remain in our memory as we move forward from this. So, and also the second part that I want to highlight is you had a lot of open-ended how do I say, there was no closure in stories. So talking about the third principle that you spoke about, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, you did not really connect to what kind of mindset he has, which makes him different, or you did not really connect to the principle. So somewhere I felt you rushed through that, so you did not connect the principle and the story. So you are getting what I'm saying, right? So you can work on that part. The second suggestion that I want to give is organize your content. Somewhere I felt you delivered all the three as principles well, but when it came to closure, I felt you did not do justice to the content. I'm sure you have put a lot of artwork, but closure is very important. So what you could have done is you could have said, maybe I want to leave you all with these three principles. You could have just iterated those principles, and you could have ended the speech by saying the same thing that you said: journey is the greatest gift, not the result. So these are my suggestions, and thank you again for taking up this role. And we are all inspired from the three principles that you shared. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwini. Can you please hear it for our second evaluator as well? In paucity of time, I'll try to quickly share here, then and there, my thoughts about the speaker and the evaluator. We'll park Toastmaster Priya's evaluation for a later part of time, but starting with Toastmaster Ashwini. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwini, for keeping the suggestions, the recommendations quite encouraging for the speaker. The speaker learned a lot of things. You gave a lot of food for thought, and in a very good manner, in a very productive way, so that Gaurav can go back and evaluate on those aspects. One thing which I would like to bring your attention to is the GOAT protocol, where we expect the second speaker to emphasize more on the delivery aspect. Definitely, your evaluation was very fruitful for the speaker, but we missed on the delivery aspect. Can we please be specific and clear on the part which was given to us? But whatever you have delivered, thank you so much for elaborating it in the defined manners. Thank you so much. Moving ahead with Toastmaster Gaurav. Gaurav, you received your evaluation from both your evaluators. If I can just add one thing, I don't want to glorify everything, because even I am a big fan of your speeches. I'll just try to add just one thing which might help you in the next speech, concentrating on the three aspects which you brought: the balance, clarity, and purpose. You did meet the purpose part, but we were in between the clarity and the balancing part. I thought that you are going to bring now 5 stories in your speech. 3 for the aspect, then 2, then 1 message. So I was lost somewhere in between. You had me within for the first half of the speech, and then I thought, oh, are you about to end it, or is it going somewhere else? The clarity was missing. Can we bring the balance with minimum story, or adding those story which will do justice to all the 3 aspects? With respect to the body language, just loosen up a bit. I felt you were quite stringent and quite stiff in the meeting today. Just loosen up a bit, and you did a good job. I wish you good luck for your future speeches. Can we please hear it for our speaker here? Thank you so much. Let's quickly move ahead with our second evaluator. And I saw a message from Toastmaster Puneeth. So let's do one thing. Let's proceed with Toastmaster Bindhu first to evaluate our second speaker, Toastmaster Sunil. May I get a confirmation from Toastmaster Bindhu if you're here in the meeting room?
Shruti, just a second. Even I'm connecting because I had a electricity break. Am I on the screen?
We can hear you clearly. Can you present your evaluation now?
If
Okay.
not, I can go.
I'll quickly. Oh,
If
thank you, Puneeth. That will be really helpful. So let's invite our first evaluator for our second speaker, Toastmaster Sunil. And this evaluator is going to again focus on the content delivery of our speaker. For you, we have Toastmaster Puneeth, a dynamic force in the world of ideas and inspiration. He is known for his podcast, the Galata podcast. Galata means the lively noise and ruckus in Kannada. Someone who is very passionate in every meeting. I have been seeing him delivering and taking each and every role. A very curious and enthusiastic member. Now, please may I request Toastmaster Puneeth to share his piece of advice for Toastmaster Sunil's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Puneeth.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Smruti. My target speaker, fellow members, and all the guests, good evening. Sunil, first off, congratulations on completing presentation mastery. Can we have a huge round of applause for the efforts that you've put in? If you have the emojis, please put them up. Thank you. Sunil, what I loved about your speech was that you had a very clear chronology in place. From the day you joined Toastmasters until today, you had a very clear structure with transitions through the bike as a metaphor along the journey for you, which was aligned with the title, A Ride to Rise. I also noticed that you had the energy, the enthusiasm, you had this a sense of smile and happiness about it, probably the warmth you feel at Gabbys, and the fact that you're completing a pretty long and transformative journey where you elevated from a non-English speaking individual to a native English speaking public speaker. So congratulations on that. I really admire your gestures. They were grand. You had the camera frame in place, the lighting, you were well dressed. So all of it came together. And it could be seen that you have transitioned into a full-fledged public speaker. Now, a few areas that I'll need to nitpick because I think you're there just a little touch is I would have liked if you had consistency throughout the speech. When you brought out the element of bike, add a little bit of characterization to it and keep that consistency. Somewhere in the fifth gear, you transition into a stick. Stick is usually in a car. So make sure you have that consistency in place. You spoke about mountain in your facing a difficult audience project, which I agree with you, but I would have liked had you had that consistency from day zero. Probably finding it hard to kickstart the bike to second project where you got harsh feedback, where you probably faced roadblocks, puddles, potholes, something that Bangaloreans are familiar with. So you could have used that bike as an analogy throughout the speech. The other element of consistency I felt that missed out was on mentorship. You mentioned two different mentors' names through your speech. Once you mentioned Smruti and another time you mentioned, I think, Sagarika, Mohanty. So if you can bring that consistency or add an element of establishing who the person is for the guests and everyone, that would have added value. Other than that, I believe you have elevated yourself from somebody who was afraid of English, afraid of an audience, afraid to speak up to somebody that has become a native speaker. Like you mentioned, from a mirror talker to a storyteller, you have transformed through the pathway. Probably looking forward to what holds next for you in the Toastmasters journey. On that note, back to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Smruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Puneeth. Can you please hear it for our first evaluator, Toastmaster Puneeth here? Let's quickly move to our second evaluator, Toastmaster Bindhu. May I request your confirmation? Are you comfortable to share your evaluation now?
Yes, Smruti, I'm there.
Okay, thank you so much. Toastmaster Bindhu, our second evaluator for our speaker, Toastmaster Sunil. Toastmaster Bindhu, a doctor by passion, a healer by choice. She is on a continuous journey to learn, improve, and share. Her hobbies are versatile, anything that challenges her creativity in the present or future. And today will be no exception. Toastmaster Bindhu, looking forward for an evaluation for Toastmaster Sunil. Over to you.
Sunil, thank you for that frighteningly honest journey of your path. Really, kudos to you. I was just, admiring each phase you faced and then the way that you have elaborated how it changed you. But then again, I have to thank you because you're giving me an opportunity to go way out of my comfort zone. Delivery, not my comfort zone at all. So let's see if I can do you a little bit justice on that. Now, Puneeth took away some of my air because in the sense that he told all about the prelim that you have to do for attracting your audience because delivery is all about your speech charisma. You did everything proper, the Toastmaster way. You had a blank white background, no distractions, and you had enough space to align movements along with whatever you wanted to convey. You were dressed appropriately because completing your path is a serious event and the formal attire is just aligned with the content of your speech. Now, let me go a little on to the speech charisma. Isn't delivery all about it? I'll divide this into attraction and distraction. What did you do to attract the audience? You ticked all the criteria of facial expressions. It aligned with your speech, with what you are undergoing, as well as the intonation of your voice when you depicted different characters, all done very well. But let me talk about something a little different. See, these are all the ticks that we standardly do when we are going to give a good delivery. But sometimes your audience needs a little break in between. Might differ slightly from Puneeth on the consistency. I would have liked a little inconsistency. What I mean is, between one path and the other, you were going in a continuous stream. So there were pauses in between your words, but I would have liked pauses in between segments. Give an opportunity for the crowd to think about that path, reflect on that path, what you underwent, and then, join you in the next path. Allow them to breathe in your charisma at that point. A small little pause, maybe a hypothetical question, that will also do. Now, before the meeting, I had asked you what you wanted me to focus on, and you told me about hand gestures. So let's talk about hand gestures. Now, hand gestures, for me, body expression has a certain ranking. First, it's all about facial expression, maybe the hand gestures after that, the alignment of your hand gestures to the facial expression, and then, of course, your movement on the stage. You did all of this appropriately. You had your hand gestures, but you had a hand gesture for every single sentence. If I have a suggestion to you, it might be, do you really need that? Just go through your video and just think, where do you feel it was really in sync with your facial expression and what you wanted to convey? And I think the next speech, you will reach that perfect point that you want to. Back to you, Smruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bindhu. Can you please hear it for a second evaluator as well? Let me quickly share my thoughts about both the evaluators. Let me actually club both the evaluators. They did justice to a pathbreaker speech. I personally feel pathbreaker is just like an icebreaker where someone, for the very first time attempting a pathbreaker, the kind of tone, the content which was needed was delivered beautifully by both our evaluators. If I can recommend one thing to Toastmaster Puneeth, I was looking for a summary in your evaluation. If we can just quickly touch upon that aspect, that will help the speaker to brush up the entire thing and end on a high note. Because anyways, we are trying to conclude on the recommendation part. Other than that, quite clinical evaluation. And just to say one line in support of our speaker, he did not mention two mentors. Unfortunately, I have a very long name, which is Smruti, Sagarika, Mohanty. So you can connect with Sunil separately and have a detailed discussion about it. But thank you so much for the clinical evaluation. Coming to Toastmaster Bindhu, again, thank you so much for that encouraging, quite detailed evaluation for a pathbreaker speech. One thing I thought that what if we started with the hand gesture recommendation first? Because I was so looking forward to listen more about it. Second, we can cover the pace part because that's what the speaker asked you to do, requested you to do. So that's the only suggestion. But thank you so much once again to the evaluators and the speaker. Once again, can we hear it for them? Now, God gives you always special. So instead of 4, we have 5 evaluations today. Let's quickly invite our 5th evaluator and bring back our first evaluator, Toastmaster Priya, on the screen. The Toastmaster Priya will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rahul. May I get our evaluator spotlighted? Meanwhile, for you, Toastmaster Rahul is a network engineer at Walmart. He loves solving complex connectivity problem by day and hitting the road for a run or a bike ride after office hours. Whether exploring new routes or meeting new people, he is always up for a good conversation. Toastmaster Rahul, up over to you for the evaluation.
Thank you for that wonderful intro, General Evaluator. So, my evaluator, the evaluator for the first speaker, Toastmaster Priya. Toastmaster Priya, your evaluation felt flawless. It didn't feel like you're doing it for the first time, but I'm guessing you're doing it for the first time, right? Okay. So, no, it didn't feel that way to me. It felt like you've already done it multiple times, and it was like a walk in the park for you. So, let me tell the things that I loved about your evaluation. Starting with the first thing, you said that you could relate to the speech and you start off on a very positive note. That is a very good thing. Also, you also remember the phrases of what the speaker one, Toastmaster Gaurav, said. that is very encouraging and also boosts the confidence of the speaker. And the third one is that you also, when it came to giving recommendations, you divided into 2 points. You said that first one was that you recommended that Toastmaster Gaurav would add his personal story to the speech. And the second one was you also noted that the time could have been used in a better way. So this showed that you had presence of mind of what the speaker was saying and you were keenly listening to it. And it wasn't just a generic evaluation. So as the evaluator, I would say like you pretty much got down the good points of what needed to be said. Now, I'll give you a few recommendations, and these recommendations will be based out of your evaluation as your evaluator one. That is that you'll be mainly evaluating on what the speaker said, right? So based on that, let me give you a couple of recommendations which I thought you can add to your evaluations in the future. First thing is that relevance to the audience. When it comes to relevance to audience, you said that the speech is something you would relate. But there was a major thing which I felt was missing when Toastmaster Gaurav said that Bhagavad Gita, he did not give a context of what the book actually is. So let's say I'm a audience and I have no much awareness of what it means. It is out of random blue, right? So that's one thing which you could have noted and I believe like could have given as a recommendation to the speaker. And the second one is like when you said the speaker did not meet his timings, it's always good practice to give ways that he can meet it in the next speech. When he's cut short by 5 minutes, you can tell him by, like maybe he could like expand his story. Maybe he could add his personal story over there. Or also he could like have a good connection with the audience and maybe ask questions here and there. That's a couple of recommendations which I would say. And the last one was you could have also mentioned how the flow of speech was, like, the body and I mean, like the intro, the body, and the conclusion. I believe that you could have also like hit on those points as well, a bit more accurate. And a last thing which I would like to do is like, or if you could, I would suggest that if you're evaluating a speech, you could also tell the speaker like what you took out of from it, right? Especially when the speaker is trying to deliver a persuasive speech or something related to that. But overall, it was amazing, Toastmaster Priya. I know it was a lot of recommendations, but I'm just giving it to you because in the sense that I got the feeling that this was not the first time, and it's better that I give you a lot of recommendations and feedback so you could improve on in the next time. I'll just summarize it in a quick way. First one is that you start on a positive note, that's good, and the second is that you remember phrases, and third is that you gave a good recommendation saying that you could add his personal story, and also you caught up to the timings of the speaker. The things that you could recommend or you can improve on is to see how relevant the stories and the context on how a normal audience who does not know what the speaker is saying feels like. And the second is you can also give a few examples or guide the speakers when they don't meet certain criterias. Third is for the flow speech. You can also tell the speaker how the flow went and what you felt out of it. And the ending is what you took out of it personally as an evaluator. So with that, I would like to end my evaluations and congratulations, Toastmaster Priya, for completing your level one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. You have given a lot of recommendations to Toastmaster Priya. Let me share quick things about your part. I always encourage if you can bring more evaluation. Having said that, sometimes we just need to understand 5 recommendation versus 1 commendation or 2 commendation can be a very tight packed thing. What we can do, you can prioritize out of 5. Let me put 2 or 3 here, and later you can have a very detailed discussion with the speaker and share your thoughts about it in interest of time. If you're picking 3, you can invest your time in explaining those 3 in a better manner rather than presenting 5 recommendations then and there. Having said that, your evaluation shows that you were closely watching the speaker with her evaluation, and the intent was to encourage the evaluator to be a better evaluator next time. So kudos on doing the job, but if we can just take care of the balancing act of recommendation, it will help all of us. But thank you so much once again. Toastmaster Priya, you had your evaluation. If I can add one thing, a very tiny thing, where you said the conclusion can be better. We expect from every evaluator that what is better? is there a how and demonstration regarding the same? Is there an example for the same? If you would like to connect, or if you like to discuss the same separately, you can always mention it. But a how always helps the speaker and also the audience in general. But thank you so much once again for all our evaluators for presenting your evaluation in order to elevate the morale of the speaker. Can you please hear it for the entire team here? Now, in interest of time, let's quickly move forward where I will call the core role players of the team, and I request them to please keep their report as crisp as possible because we are going beyond the agenda time limit. Let's quickly check with our timer. May I request Toastmaster Sreehari, you can please paste the report on chat, but quickly help us understand the qualification and disqualification with the timing. Over to you, Toastmaster Sreehari.
Sure. All the evaluators, Priya and Ashwini and Puneeth are well within time. However, Bindhu has just over time by 3 seconds, 3 minutes 36 seconds, and also Rahul 4 minutes 10 seconds. But I believe there are no disqualifications in the evaluation, so all are eligible for the polls.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sreehari. For the audience, you can please paste the report on the chat so that
Sure.
we can get a clarity regarding the qualification and disqualification. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Sreehari, a quick suggestion for you, rather a recommendation if it is possible. Please time each segment as well. And you have the entire authority to flash the red card and let the individual role taker know when to stop, because we can see the result now. We are way beyond the agenda, but we could have managed the same. So please take the authority as a timer to flash the red card if any particular role taker is exceeding the time. And second, if possible, either get yourself spotlighted or raise your hand so that you will be placed on the top left corner. Even the educational speaker was unable to spot you initially, and people were facing problems. So if that can be managed, it's a very small aspect, but timer role is a crucial role. So we can definitely work on the same. But thank you so much, Toastmaster Sreehari, for patiently timing all the speakers and evaluators for the meeting. Can you please hear it for him? Let's move ahead with the language evaluator, Toastmaster Mamta. Again, a very passionate member of the Gabbys, taking each and every role, versatile role every time when I see her on the camera or off the camera, eager and enthusiastic with a learning intent. Welcome, Toastmaster Mamta, and please help us with quickly, with a pointer, what went good in the meeting and any one or two recommendation. Rest, you can please paste it on chat for us to evaluate. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Smruti. Let me share the report. Today's meeting was an enriching experience from the language perspective. I paid attention to our use of grammar, filler words, rhetorical devices, and the word of the day. Elevate. Priya Singh used beautiful alliteration like leading, learning, lifting, which instantly grabbed attention. Toastmaster Renu Kaushal brought energy to the meeting and used phrases like many heads with grace and grits, along with the metaphor breakthrough movements. Toastmaster Gaurav skillfully used the rule of three, balance, clarity, and purpose, and inspired us with do your duty without expecting results. Toastmaster Sunil employed a range of persuasive devices like command, recommend, and metaphors like ride a Toastmaster's bike from self-doubt to self-discoveries. His phrase, where there is a will, there is a way to doubt. DTM Neha Bhatt, impressed with impactful phrases like vision with action and the use of powerful influencers like Abdul Kalam and Mother Teresa to drive her points. Several speakers used the rule of three technique, communication, confidence, career, and learned on 1, 2, 3, which created rhythm and resonance in their delivery. The word elevate was used by few speakers. Toastmaster Priya used it thrice, and Toastmaster Puneeth used it twice, and Toastmaster Smruti also used it. I encourage everyone to incorporate the word of the day more deliberately in future meetings. In conclusion, language is more than words. It is how we inspire, connect, and leave an impression. Let's continue to be mindful of how we express ourselves because every word holds the power to elevate a message from ordinary to extraordinary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta. Can we please hear it her? It takes a lot to diligently sit and make a note of everything. Thank you so much for doing it. I also saw you posting the word of the day again and again on chat. It's a good sign of encouraging people. I do not have anything more to add here, but thank you so much for your support, for your efforts, and please keep on taking the role and start working on it better. So thank you so much. Moving ahead, before calling the listener, I will just quickly share my thoughts about few role takers first, starting with our Santa Terms Toastmaster Priya. A very good job in starting the meeting on time. We had a lot of discussion and chaos at the very second, but you said that it's time, let me start, and you started with the meeting proceeding. Thank you so much. Please keep on doing it, and you did a very good job the way the narration began. Followed by, we had our presiding officer, and thank you so much, Renu. It takes a lot to step in the last second and explaining that, okay, this was the gap and here I need to fill in, and you handle it quite in a better manner. If I can just add one suggestion to it, no need to highlight that I don't have a script in place. PO never has a script in place. You did a good job. Stick to it. Present confidently. No need to address or acknowledge that I'm just doing it right away. I don't have a script. Nobody needs to know it. Just keep on doing the PO role which you did today. And thank you so much for pitching in. As a TMOD, engagement was there. You did a good job in doing it. But we know the result why we are standing at this point of time, because of the time execution. The education session, 6 minutes, it started 6 minutes late, and it exponentially increased actually. Prepared speech started 10 minutes late, and the general evaluation started 15 minutes late. Reason being, we understand that everything is not in our control, but it is the team mode who takes the entire authority. If required, cut this particular part, stop this activity, or you decide, you take a call because you are facilitating the entire show. Take the command, execute it. You know the tricks and trade. Good job in executing, bringing all the engagement. Just ensure that we are closing the meeting on time. But thank you so much, Toastmaster Renu, for bringing a good topic and maintaining the pace of the meeting. Let's quickly proceed with our listener for the evening. Again, welcome back, Toastmaster Rahul. Again, Toastmaster Rahul, you know the time, so please shoot with the quick questions. And yeah, over to you.
Okay. Guys, as a listener, I'll just be shooting questions fast. So the first question is, which Toastmaster name was brought up during the education session as an influencer? Who was a Toastmaster?
Distinguished Toastmasters.
Yeah.
DTM Sauradatta
DTM
and
Sauradatta.
DTM Nancy.
Okay, that's correct. And what are the two types of influence according to DTM NEA? Two types of influence. Okay, it's positive and
Correct.
negative.
Yes.
Okay, I just told it. So third one is like, which city is DTM Lisa Thompson from?
Canada?
No, somewhere in
She's
US.
from New York.
California.
Correct.
She's from New York.
New York, that's correct. And what is the title of Toastmaster Gaurav speech?
3-2-1 principle.
Yeah, that's correct.
3-2-1.
Yes, that's right. And Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between who? Like the conversation is between like
Krishna and Arjun.
Okay. When there is a will, there is a way. Which Toastmaster said this?
Toastmaster Sunil Gupta.
Okay. And the podcast Soulful Scrolls. Which Toastmaster runs this podcast?
Surana, Puneeth.
Priya.
Toastmaster Priya.
So, so all of you have been wonderful listeners. Thanks a lot, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahul, for keeping those questions really quick. We know the general rule of listener. You try to put the question which are short, and audience will give like a 1 word or 2 word answer. But we always advise put those questions. The answer is within the meeting, not something which is there in the doc or not something which people know that the conversation is between which two individual. But good job end of the day by bringing questions which had a close-ended one word or two word answer. Can you please hear it for Rahul once again? Overall, for the meeting proceedings, I just have 2 cents to share. So please patiently bear with me for a few more seconds. One thing with respect to the meeting, the good part, we know we had all the pre-meeting requisites in place, just like the Gabbys way. You have the groups, the doc file, the briefing, everything was taken care of. Few things which surprisingly caught my attention was before the meeting, the pre-meeting engagement was somehow between 1 to 2 in a scale of 10. We had initial engagement when we had 4 people in the meeting room. But the moment we had 20 and 25, the entire screen was blank and nobody was interacting with each other. If we can, voluntarily, you decide if the SA will interact or anyone from the XCOM will interact or the PO will interact. You decide well in advance, but keep that engagement happening. Especially today when we knew that people from different districts are going to come and join the GOAT meeting, we can definitely take care of the same. Second part is respect to the Zoom thing. I understand there were a few technical glitches in the beginning part, which might have affected. People were there listed out in the waiting room, but we were not adding them one after the other. I had to add them. I don't mind doing it, but I just thought that if we can be vigilant about it, adding the people on time so that they can get the best benefit of the meeting part. And that's it. The third part was with respect to the conversation in the chat room. In the education session, the conversation actually picked up, but before that and even after that, people were actually introducing themselves, but we were not acknowledging them. If we as an XCOM team can acknowledge people who are introducing themselves on chat, they will also feel included, and inclusivity is the definition of Gabby. So let's keep the spirit high. But thank you so much for this particular honor. It was always a pleasure to be the general evaluator of a good meeting. And on that note, I give the stage back to our TMOD Toastmaster Renu Kaushal. Over to you.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator. Big round of applause for the Journal Evaluator and her valuable feedbacks, and especially to the TEL team for their invaluable support. So we close down our today's meeting, though we are on very much away from the time. But I would just conclude by one statement that true leadership begins where title ends. So let's begin with making good influences. Let's become a silent force of influence and behind the success of others.
We have to.
And I hand over.
Polls.
Yes.
We had to launch the polls. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm just ending the TMOD session, right? Okay. So going forward, now I will conclude I will just announce the polls. Sreehari, can you please launch the polls? Though we don't have many people. In the meantime, can I request Toastmaster Giri to share his feedback? You were generous enough to stay back for the entire duration. I can see Nagita Khatikar. Would you like to share your feedback? How did you like the meeting? Okay. Anybody else from the meeting would like to share their feedback? Gaurav, how did you like your experience today?
It was great actually. As usual, we have two evaluations, and along with that, I had evaluations from Toastmaster Smruti, and then one
Yes.
more from Toastmaster Rahul. So that was a lot of evaluations and a lot to take back. So it was a
Yes,
great
yes.
session for me.
Right, right. Okay, now we have the poll results available to us. So since we didn't, it was a pathbreaker speech, so we don't have the best speaker poll happening today. So we'll begin with the best evaluator. So best evaluator, any guesses? So that is Toastmaster Puneeth. I see he has left the meeting. A round of applause for him. Followed by now the best role player. That's an easy guess. RGE. So, can we spotlight her, please? And finally, the auxiliary role taker. That's again an easy one. That is our language evaluator, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. Thank you so much for staying back all this along. So I call this meeting to an end. So thank you everyone for your presence. Hope to see you in on the Saturday. That day we have a linkers meet happening. All those people who can join in person, may please make that effort and do join in person. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Good night.